Viewers and subscribers, welcome to my channel, Technical News Service. Here what we have for you in today's headline, May 13, 2023. JDF soldier drowns during training at stadium pool. St. Thomas police on lookout for bad drivers. Bodies of man and woman found in house with gunshot wounds. 3 in custody following latest Hopewell killing. Also in the headlines, Mount Salem murders linked to remnants of gangs, said Dr. Chang. And 3 firearms seized in St. Elizabeth, no arrests made. Stay tuned for details. Now the news in details. JDF soldier drowns during training at stadium pool. The Jamaica Defense Force JDF soldier is believed to have drowned during training at the National Stadium pool in St. Andrew on Thursday. The deceased is Private Jerome McCarty. According to the JDF, McCarty was found unresponsive in the swimming pool at the National Stadium complex and was rushed to the University Hospital of the West Indies for medical attention. He was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. The JDF, in expressing sadness at McCarty's death, offered its condolences to his family, friends and other loved ones. Meanwhile, many persons have been expressing shock at the death of the young soldier. McCarty's aunt, Latoya Daly, took to social media site Facebook to express her sorrow at her loved one's passing. JJ, there are no words to explain how I'm feeling right now. There is no explanation for your death, my dear nephew, she posted along with photographs of McCarty. I can and will never be able to say RIP. My dear nephew, you are such a promising young man. You came to me for advice. This your death will not go in vain. Daly concluded. McCarty's aunt, Latoya Daly, took to social media site Facebook to express her sorrow at her loved one's passing. Other social media users reacted to the post, and also expressed tributes to McCarty. I'm lost for words with tears right now. Fly high, Jerome, wrote one woman. Sincere condolences to you and your family, shared another. St. Thomas police on lookout for bad drivers. Jolted by the recent spike in fatal collisions, the St. Thomas police have pledged to ramp up their presence on the main roads in the parish, especially as the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project progresses. Speaking at the monthly sitting of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation on Thursday, Deputy Superintendent of Police in charge of operations, O'Neill Thompson, informed that the division recorded 3 fatal collisions with 5 fatalities in April, as opposed to 1 fatal collision with 1 fatality in the corresponding period of 2022. Year to date, 4 fatal collisions with 6 fatalities have been recorded, compared to 2 fatal collisions with 2 fatalities for the 2022 corresponding period. What is happening here is that motorists are seizing the opportunity to use the road which is not yet open to get by quickly. The taxi men want to make their money, so as a result, they just speed to and fro, but our intention is to increase our presence on the main road, Thompson said. He added that as the ship progresses, a lot of the main road is now being paved and they are capitalizing on that, so we are out there, and you can see the police out there. Furthermore, the deputy superintendent said commuters should hold the police accountable to this commitment, stating that, if for any reason you drive from here Morant Bay to Kingston and you don't see the police, we'd love for you to call us. The St. Thomas leg of the ship takes into account the roads from Harbour View to Yallahs Bridge to Port Antonio, and Morant Bay to Cedar Valley. More than 8.5 kilometers of the 14-kilometer, 4-lane roadway from Harbour View in St. Andrew to Albion in St. Thomas have been completed, and this section of the project is on track to meet the new completion timeline of August this year. Bodies of man and woman found in house with gunshot wounds. The St. Anne police are probing the suspected murder of a couple, whose bodies were found at a house in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne on Friday. The deceased have been identified as Danny Wollaston, a businessman and furniture maker, and his wife, Kamara Walker Wollaston, both from Gully Road in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne. Reports are that shortly after 4 p.m. on Friday, the daughter of the two returned home and made the gruesome discovery. An alarm was raised and the police were alerted to the scene. Police said Wollaston was found lying on his back with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the torso, while his wife was seen lying on the floor with multiple gunshot wounds to the upper body. The scene was processed and the bodies were removed to the morgue. A motive has not been established for the killing at this time. 3 in custody following latest Hopewell killing. The police have revealed that 3 men are now in custody following the shooting death of Cornell Grizzle, an elderly construction worker, in the Crabwood Lane section of Hopewell, Hanover on Friday. Grizzle, a 62-year-old resident from the Mount Pelier section of the parish, was working on a construction site when armed men approached and shot him. He later died. Following a tour of Crabwood Lane on Saturday, Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Area 1, Clifford Chambers provided an update to the media. There are 2 persons who have been arrested and charged and are in custody. We are hoping that we'll be able to keep them from being offered bail because of the nature and gravity and the continuity of investigation and leads which have been provided given other crimes they are involved in, he stated. There is another who is also in custody pending interrogation and further discussion as it relates to the potential of his involvement in other crimes, he also divulged. According to the ACP, the spate of murders in Hopewell could be attributed to recent gang activity that has its origins in illicit lottery scamming. We have 2 gangs, which I don't want to name, but as a result of the tension and the murders and the reprisal and counter-reprisal, you do have what is now spilling out into some murders on the ground, unfortunately, he stated. However, he insisted that the police have been on top of this latest incident. With regards to this one, we're safely saying that the police are confident that the issues will be brought to an end soon, given the persons who are involved in these gangs, he assured. Chambers also used the opportunity to provide details on the deceased, explaining that he too was part of a criminal network has shown them. The man here is no angel, a gun was taken from him, the officer said. There were rounds that were found in his pocket when the forensic crime did their crime scene investigation, and he is the father of one of the persons who is presently in custody, he added. Viewers and subscribers, please remember to drop a like on my video, share, comment and subscribe to my channel as we continue to give you news across Jamaica. And hit that notification bell so you can be the first one to be notified when we drop a new video. Continuing the news. Mount Salem murders linked to remnants of gangs, said Dr. Chang. Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang has revealed that recent shootings in the Mount Salem community, which have left 3 dead and 2 injured, can be linked to individuals who were once involved in gang activity. According to the minister, while the big gangs have been contained, individuals are the ones who have recently been wreaking death and destruction. Chang was speaking with the media Saturday after touring Crawford Street and the main road in Mount Salem with members of the security forces. In the Mount Salem area, we don't even have an identifiable big gang. It's more community-based and family-related. Everybody knows everybody, but the increased activity in scamming has generated a lot of financing, and of course there are still guns available and people are willing to use them, the minister explained. There are still young men who were a part of that gang who are still the face of it, and there is this continued quest for violence, he added. The flare-up in crime has occurred despite the community being declared a zone of special operations ZOSO, a tool employed since 2017. The ZOSO was to have been a two-pronged approach to fixing the problem and rid the community of criminals while providing social support for residents. Chang believes the initiative is still on track. We've had less than 10 murders over the 7-year period, and this is the first one in about 8 months. What it reflects is the original concept is still there, that will bring peace, he asserted. This view was also shared by Assistant Commissioner of Police for Area 1, Clifford Chambers, who was on the tour. From a policing standpoint, it is clear that the zone of special operations is working. When you look at the statistical figures of murders, shootings and major crimes, it is clear that it is working, Chambers insisted. 3 firearms seized in St. Elizabeth, no arrests made. Police are reporting that 3 illegal firearms and ammunition were seized following operations in 2 St. Elizabeth communities on Friday night. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Kenneth Chin, told that the raids were conducted in Luana and Spring Park shortly before midnight. While no one was apprehended during the seizures, Superintendent Chin says he expects that arrests will be made soon based on the leads they have. During the operation, an unfinished concrete structure was searched and a bag containing 2 pistols, 1 revolver, 2 magazines and 13 rounds of assorted ammunition were seized. No one was taken into custody in connection with this find. However, we are following strong leads and arrests are expected to be made, he said. I thank my teams who are making the best use of the limited resources in maintaining the operational outputs which are reaping success. The parish is safer because of your effective police presence. I must also highlight the police-citizens relationship in the parish which has resulted in several successes, including a 160% increase in the number of illegal firearms taken out of the hands of criminals when compared to last year, he added. That's the end for today's news. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.